P3D. I'm going to mute the game because it's really annoyingly loud. There we go. It's so much nicer. Well, we are at my favourite airport, the best of airports, Newcastle International. You know what? I've not been here IRL for a while. I've not actually flown here in the sim for a while either, and it just feels a bit strange right now. We're here with Flybe. Obviously now defunct, sadly. They're talking about making a comeback, but a lot of the aircraft have actually gone to be turned to firefighters. So who knows? But they're here now, and that's sort of the main thing for me. I'm actually really just enjoying looking at this aircraft. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and request refueling. So, oh, that's fun. My game's crashed. This is P3D problems for you. There we go. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to go straight to requesting boarding, and it would be service air for Flybe. At least it used to be back in the day. I'm sort of doing this 2014, 2015 era. I'm flying down to Southampton today, so I'm going to go Shift E, pause 2, which should, there you go, open the back door, and I'm going to open this up. This should, yeah, that's fine. I don't care about that. So, thank you. We're flying, as I say, from EGNT, which is here in Newcastle. Come on, computer, please don't poo yourself constantly. My nav data is technically out of date, but I can't be bothered. I've got them on the same nav data cycle, that's the main thing. You can see it's a straight line distance of, it doesn't say, not very far. Now I'm going to add a new aircraft to the database, which is going to be GFLBC, a -8 Q400. And as I say, it's going to be a line shot straight down the middle. So Golf, Foxtrot Lima, Bravo Charlie, FLBC. Caps lock off because that was on for some reason, and I've got a load of these installed, but I'm looking for the Bombardier -8 Q400. There you go. That's good, that's good, that's good. Save that, save the aircraft, that then puts that in automatically, randomise the payload, find a route. So that's I've noticed that PFPX seems to be pretty goddamn jank lately. Where's Gurley here? I'm not going all the way down there, then over. I'm not going from Newcastle to the Wash, to Manchester, to Thingy. That's preposterous. It's nearly doubling the length of the flight. Absolutely not happening. Edit. Right. I'm going to go direct Gurley. Yeah, it wants us to go to Gurley, then back to NATAB. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. So, we'll take a Gurley SID to Gurley. And then I want to end up probably in the region of Unigo. That's Aptos. Goles. Where's Goles? That's Goles, that will do me fine. So I'm just going to compress it like that, and then we'll rebuild that route. That looks way more sensible now. To be honest, from Gurley, Unigo is where we should go to. I'm just going to go Gurley to Barton. We'll just straight line it across there. We'll be rebellious today, and then down there, so basically it's Barton's actually got Barton Aerodrome in Manchester, that's EGCC, which is Manchester, over Birmingham, over Bryce Norton, which is the RAF Transport Command base, and into Southampton, which is 9% increase, which is totally acceptable on a short trip like this. That's fine. Our destination alternates, because we're Flybe, I'm going to use Bournemouth. EGHH. So what I always like to do when I'm doing trips like this is go for one really nearby one and one that's a bit further away. So transport link wise, would probably be best going for Bristol, because we can stick passengers either on a bus or a train from there. I mean, it's, or Gatters. No, Gatwick's going to be busy, so I'll do Bristol, EGGD. And what I'll do is I'll set Bristol as my primary alternate, so that will then basically decide that's where it's going to go. I'm going to find out an adequate airport, which is totally fine. It'll probably send me to some GA strips I've never heard of. Okay, oh, that's adequate en route diversion, that's fine. We'll compute that. What's our warning? Upwind forecast not available, that's fine. We've got some transit warnings, which is fine. So, I'm going to bop this on my second screen. Okay, we've got some stuff going on here. Hey, look at that. There you go, so they're going to start boarding passengers now. They're waiting for us to do that. I'm going to look at fuel. I always do it through this because I just find it easier to do sort my payload out in here. So you can see this is the weight set up currently. Our current payload set at 4 tons. It's actually going to increase by 2. So I need to go 2 tons over 1/5. So split 5 ways, or 4 ways would be 500. So I should increase that. Yeah, we'll go slightly lighter. You know, there's nothing wrong with having slightly lighter weights than you expect. There you go. Our fuel load for the trip is going to be 1.8 tons, which is that's less, isn't it? So no, it's I'm actually going to, because it would have me take, I'm going to go 40%, which gives us, yeah, dispatch. So basically it's saying plan flying for 1 hour 6 minutes, which will burn a ton, about 863 kilograms of fuel. Yeah, I'm going to take a bit more just because I don't trust my abilities flying the aircraft yet. We may have to do a couple of go-rounds. So that gives us a total fuel of 2.6, which is 800 more than we're expecting, but it balances. Right, that's all set up now. So into the cockpit of the -8. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm going to grab my HUD, on my FMS, sorry, correction. Turn it on. Which will take a second or 3. Oh, for crying out loud. Whilst we're in here as well, I'm going to turn on the APU, power on, start on. There we go. It's thinking about it, PASP. It's doing its bits. Built-in test sequence. Actually, there is stuff we need to do to set the aircraft up, because the aircraft doesn't come set up correctly automatically. So I'm just going to do that, and set the. I'll set the gust locks. I'll set that to closed. Thought has just occurred to me that I probably don't have my thingy set up correctly. Turn my radios on, in case I need to use those. And I'm going to turn my weather radar, which is down here, to standby. There we go. I can put systems pages up on both sides now if I want. So you've got electrical on both sides. I can just say doors. That's interesting because the same. I swear there's. So yeah, you can see the doors have got open are all on the left hand side of the aircraft, which is fine. My landing clock warning at flat 50. That's what we'll be using.
I'm just waiting for the last of the luggage to be loaded on board. Then we'll be able to get underway in a few minutes. On behalf of the entire flight crew, I wish you a fantastic flight.
Well, we'll turn your endpoint off for takeoff. Okay, so waiting for stuff to be loaded on, which is fine. We've got some music playing in the background. I'm going to talk over it just to be safe. Fuel, I'm not going to just use that page at the moment, but I'm going to go EG, NT, enter. Yep, Newcastle. And then I'm going to go on there. And it's, no it's not, it's menu. Depart. I'm going to depart off from runway 25, that's the preferred departure. Enter. I'll take it, we set a Gurley 3 X-ray, so I'll take that. As far out as Gurley. Then put that in the flight plan. After Gurley, it's, I'm actually not too confident, so I'm just going to put the waypoint in manually for this. I know there's always a better way to do it, but I always forget what it is. So I'm going to put the next waypoint as Barton, B-A-R-T-N, enter, accept. After Barton, we're going to go to Lovell. After Lovell, it's Listo. After Listo, it's Honolly. Sorry that my phone seems to go off in every video I record today. Honolly, there we go. I am, it's after that, it's Namum. Enter. And I'm just going to check the OFP to check where we join our SID from. Bug up. Cool. Whoa, that's throwing us on a weird SID like. Which is actually the waypoint afterwards. So, okay, return, that's fine. And I'm just going to go straight to bug up. But, actually, no, what I'm going to do is go straight to EGHI, which is Southampton. Accept that. And what we can do is go menu, arrive, HI. And I'm going to land on runway 20. And it's a Bugger 1 Sierra. That sounds inappropriate. The approach is going to be an ILS runway 20. That should be, yeah, ILS 20, correct. So put that in the box. We're not going to do any transitions, so just go straight to the flight plan. And then we're just going to click through it. So what I'm going to do is click on that, delete, click on that, delete, and then that is everything set up for us. So just click off that like that, and then we get all our constraints and stuff. So I'm going to, that's the route setup. What I can now do is set myself, we'll set our navigation source to FMS1, and then that's everything set up with the aircraft effectively. It's a very quick setup in this thing. The bags are nearly done. They must have been coming from, I think this is Orbex Newcastle, by the way, and I think the AI spawns over by the fuel farm over there. Fun little fact about me. For the beady-eyed amongst you will see that there's a sign over there for Newcastle College. I did a college course there in aviation operations. Yeah, still not sure why I did that course. So what I can do is I can now go gen on, bleed air on, which gets us some AC, and what I can do is turn off the external power. I'm going to check we've got our fuel pit, our removable flight pins in board, which we do. You can see now that they're on. I can now go into this page, go menu, no, it's data, services. I'm going to have them remove the GPU, please, because we're no longer using it. And then everything is now set up. So it's going to be Shift E, pause 3, Shift E, pause 2, and we'll shut the front door with Shift E. I'm now going to request a pushback. Good morning, Marshall. We're starting engine number 2 and then 1. I'm going to set my landing lights to, so collision lights to red, which is our ground 1. Point a note with the aircraft.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Yeah. Point a note with the aircraft is, if you look, there's no collision lights on the bottom. So if you're standing where he is, it's very easy not to see it, which can be a safety hazard. Back in the cockpit.
Locking gear.
We'll turn our position lights on, because that's on nav lights, so we can have those on. Fasten seat belts, no smoking. That's all going to go on now. That's set in auto, everything else is looking good. We've got our reset fan on, it's off. Bleed fans to min, and we're going to do our engine startup. So, I'm going to start engine number 2. As said, engine 2 and then 1. We nose to the right, tail to the left, that's good.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Roger, starting engine number 2. So I'm going to just go, again, I've not got the manual to check this all out, so I'm going to go 110, 115, 120. What I can do as well is set my initial climb speed, so I'm going to just set the hood up for this. So I'm going to set my alt sail. We're cruising today at 23,000 feet. No, 24,000. So I'm going to put 24,000 in the window. It's a straight climb out of Newcastle. I'm going to put IAS mode on for the climb, which is then going to, so we can then basically climb at 135 knots. And I'm going to arm alt sail. So basically at the moment, that's the aircraft is set up as we need it for takeoff. Let's put LNAV mode on. There you go, getting pushed out. So engine 2 is now good. So I'm going to hit start for engine 1. I'm also going to turn on my anti-skid. Should have disabled my thing there, but I'll do it now. Park brakes out.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Roger. Well, I'm going to confirm it now so you can get lost. I can taxi back in if needed. I can also turn on my standby radio down here. There we go. And I'm going to arm out a feather. I'm doing before takeoff items now. that needs to be done. I'm not doing like the in-depth checks. I'm just running an aircraft that I've not flown for 3 or 4 years now. So, wish me luck, folks. Flight director both sides. That's good. He's getting us disconnected.
Unlocking gear.
All of these should go out when I push my throttles forward to
Tow
max.
truck disconnected. Bypass pin.
Thanks, guys.
removed.
I'm also going to set my flap to flap 5 for takeoff. There you go. So what have we not got on? Of course, the anti-ice. So go. And over there, that'll be the parking brake. Confirm. Confirm. So now that we're taxiing, taxi light goes on. I'm just going to check that my audio levels aren't too bad. I'm going to drop it down a bit because they are. And now that we've got engine started, I can turn that off, to set those both to off. Bleeds 1 and 2 go back on. That goes to stays in min until we're airborne, basically. Everything else is set for departure. Alrighty, let's rock and roll. So, important notes. It's quite a warm day outside. It is 25 degrees. So, throttle in. I'm just going to give it a quick test. Try and remind myself what my pedals are set to. They're not set to anything. This is fun. So, because I've got the gust locks on, I'm just going to be... Actually, I can just steer like this, can't I? Okay, my nose wheel steering isn't on. Please steer, aeroplane. Please steer. There we go. So I'm going to put power on, and I'm just going to go taxiing. I have, of course, chosen the runway that's as far away from the terminal building as feasibly possible. I'm going to make this a 2-part video because, frankly, I'm lazy. And you guys aren't used to long videos from me anyway, because DCS is actually really hard to make like an hour-long video in. I think I've come close with one of the Dire Straits missions, but like 43 minutes in, you know. But that was just a really long mission. But even then, it's quite difficult because to do airliner stuff, you definitely have to be able to waffle and focus on things, and I struggle with that sometimes. I do. I'm also doing a remarkably good job of steering this aircraft using my mouse. So with the Dash 8, you get very little steering from the actual pedals. It's all done with the tiller. Also, the co-pilot on most aircraft doesn't have a steering wheel or a tiller, which is what you see me moving around there. So captain's always driving, basically. You can see my yeah, I'm actually set up pretty well here. So I'm doing a nice, decently quick taxi out there. I think the FM might have helped me a little bit here in pushing some buttons. We're doing N-top, which is basically full power from this thing, which is quick. So what the gust locks are, that actually basically locks the ailerons. So the idea is when you're on the ground and the wind's blowing, it stops them blowing around and being damaged. I'm actually gonna... I think what my flight controls would be. I can't remember. On this aircraft. Oh well. Oh no, it's on my side. So okay, gust locks up. Full left. Okay, full left. Full right. Full back. Full forward. Left rudder. Right rudder. Flight controls check complete. All right. Look at me go. So I'm actually having an okay day today. But unfortunately, my dad's back in hospital, so I'm not having one anymore. But yeah, that's just it is what it is. Frankly, at this with him, you know, unfortunately, we know he's not going to get better, and we've just got to do what we can. In the meantime, I am going a bit quick here. I can also up the audio, probably the game. No, I can't. I'm leaving it at that. The Dash 8 is just a loud aircraft, and especially when we got to take off, you're not going to hear me if I'm not careful. So yeah, Delta is where they want you to basically when they you can see wind's pretty calm right now looking at the windsock, so they want you to take off 2.5 if possible. If because that basically, I think that just makes it less, that's the extra congestion coming at the airfield. Gives you a slightly longer taxi out and a short taxi in, but it is what it is. I say apparently it's better for congestion. I'm not, well, it is, because if you think the whole point here is massive. So you can have a load of aircraft queued up for takeoff. but at 0.7, once you get sort of 2 aircraft there, you're blocking the apron. So it does make sense in that aspect. So, do that. Hold the toe brakes. And set the parking brake. Really quickly, I'm just going to go through and push some buttons. On! No. Okay, turns out I've got no idea how to use it. Actually, one thing I do need to do is start Volante. That's something I always like to have on. Right, looking at this, we've got that. Everything down here looks good. Yes, so that's set. I'm going to do my lights actually. So, off. It's flashing like the parking brake, so I can kill that. Collision lights go white. Volante turns on. Flare, approach lights. Wing inspection lights go off. Position lights stay on. Everything is set. I'm going to set my windshield to warm up. I always have it in that for the sakes of what happens if we hit a bird on takeoff. So we don't need anything else. I'm looking around, trying to jog my memory. Main bus tyre should be tied for takeoff actually. That is it. Okie doke. Cabin crew, please take your seats. So I'm going to put a little nice bit of 4 power on. I'm now connected. I will show you Volante once we actually get airborne. So I'll just put us into flight idle. Okay, brake off. And we'll just keep the aircraft nice and controlled. Basically the plan is that once we enter, I'm going to let the aircraft sort itself out a little, and then once we're straight, full power in, get the aircraft out, get us out of here. So, okay, I'm going to taxi right down the back here. I really don't need to. This thing can take off in a lot less than half the runway here at Newcastle, but we do what we need to. So, okay, there's grass on the runway. That's a scenery bug. Sorry, I can't fix that. Or a bug with my layers. I'll figure it out for next time. Sorry about this, guys. So I'm going to center that. I'm going to take full power. Let's go. Airspeed live. Check. 60 knots. Cross-checked. Oh yeah, that sound. I've not heard that for a long time. V1. Rotate. V2. Better rudder. Countering the aileron. There we go. Positive rate of climb is established. Landing gear up, please. Wait. Okay, landing gear up. I took the pins out. If someone put them back in. No, the pins are there. Okay. I'm gonna use this opportunity to stick the autopilot on, which has your dampers. That'll start. I'll give it a couple of notches of what? 3, 4. Why will my gear come up? Lock release. Nope, definitely no gear pins in. Has the landing gear failed? Probably. I'm going to put the nose down, give us about 160 knots for our climb. Seriously, why does that not work? What have I done wrong? I'll do my takeoff items. Which I really shouldn't be. Gear up is pretty rapid in that sequence. Gear handle down. Right. How do I do gear handle up? Okay, standby hydraulics. No. Has the aeroplane done a derp? Oh, no. The pins are there. I can see them. They can't be causing me issues at this stage in the flight. I'm going to hit that up. Oh dear. Auto feather comes off since we're now in the climb. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Alright, we'll go at 180 knots. So, I mean, I can do the flight with the gear down. It's not going to be a fast flight, but I can do it. Whilst I try and figure out my gear. I'm just going to verify my controls are still set up the way I thought they were. Sorry about the sneeze, guys. Yep. No, that's probably solid to have that there. There you go, button 15. Cool, I'm not sure which one button 10 is because there's no labels and I'm done. And I do not struggle to remember buttons. Yeah, that is preposterous. This is annoying. Right, I'm going to climb out, I'm going to figure out what's going on and I'll get back to you. Actually, whilst I do, I can show you Volanta. I quite enjoy it actually. So this is my Volanta app. I use this quite a lot when I'm flying in commercial flight sims. So this is obviously our flight now. This is us taking off from Newcastle. I'm going to set a destination, it's EGHI, which is Bournemouth. Correction, Southampton. And I can add a flight plan as well. So what I tend to do is paste a route in, and I'll just grab it from PFPX, which is down here. So which is going to be that. Copy, paste. So you can see that actually maps our route out in here as well. And if you look at my historic flights, so for example, I did that one there, which was a flight out to the Bahamas. No, wait, it's Barbados. No, St. Lucia. Oh well. But you can see it actually shows you my profile. So if I go to like a nice 2D view here, you can see my flight profile. And I just think that's really neat. Which I tried, you know, I flew my own approach there, but I just think this is really cool. You know how it knows, and how you can sort of visualize your flight, like, especially if you know it actually. For me personally, if I look at one of my DCS trips, so it, you know, has this cool flight map, which I always love seeing these in airports when you see like the routes the airlines do. It's just quite cool to see the links, because I remember doing most of these flights, you know. That's quite cool, you know, just being, oh yeah, I remember that trip, you know. No, I'm not doing that one. I'm doing this one over here. I think it's that one. Look at that. That's crazy, right? And that, I believe I was flying an F-15 in this. The aircraft isn't always accurate in DCS. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and I mean you can see already. You can also see I'm flying over the Links Estate in Shotley Bridge. To give you an idea, my old, you know, I can see my old work was, you know, about here, and sorry, that's it there, I think actually. But no, that's Jesmond Dean, so it'll be Coach Lane, it's Benton Road, so it's actually in the, that's the roads there for it. That's my old work, you know, stuff like that, and it just gives me the chance to actually see where I am at quite a level of detail. And you know, there's times when you're flying, especially over parts of the world you're not familiar with. You look down there and you think, oh, what's that river called? I think that's the time behind us now. And you can go and look it up, and I just find that supremely cool. Right. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna do a jump cut because this is ridiculous. We might end up doing a divert to Manchester since the gear won't come up. Actually, 11,000 feet. The landing light should have been off long ago. So should the taxis. But yeah, I'll figure out what's going on. But unfortunately, you're going to have to wait for part 2 for that. So see you guys in part 2. Bye.